The events that you are about to see are of Kevin Peters and Michael Drew surviving in a hostile environment. The scenario they are simulating is that of two hikers lost in the vast forest of northern Michigan. They were only equipped with a knife, shovel, hatchet, and proper clothing. Their goal is to teach you how to survive if you ever find yourself in a similar situation. Viewer discretion is advised.
So Kevin and I found this great spot to build at, and it's got kind of like a lean-to type feel, and we're going to dig it out so it has like a better area to sleep in, and we can set up the fire next to it and keep us warm for the night. So let's check this out. The first thing to do when you get caught in a situation where you know that you have to stay overnight is getting a shelter built. Without a shelter, you will have a great chance for getting rained on, staying cold, and not being protected. So what I'm doing here is digging out the side of a hill so Kevin and I have a nice place to sleep. This is truly grueling. I've been digging for about a half hour now. Kevin's off gathering firewood, and it's a good spot, but it's gonna be tough. I probably should have kept it a little bit more simple. We're digging it out so it's got enough room for us and the fire and all of our equipment. And I mean, but check out this view.
I just went out, got some firewood. Obviously, we need some fire for to stay alive. I just got some oak. That's really good, like to keep the fire going. It's a really nice, dense, thick wood. I've got some cedar to get it started, along with some birch bark to get it started. I'm gonna go gather some more wood though, because we don't want to freeze out here, and we need as much wood as we can get. Mike's going to continue to dig out our shelter, and hopefully in a little bit we can try to work on getting some food, because I'm kind of hungry. So
alright, so this is the fort Kevin and I will be in tonight. It's got some nice head cover above us, so if it rains we won't get wet, at least our heads won't. We're going to keep the fire out in this area right over here so we stay nice and warm. It's dug back pretty far. We're thinking about digging it back a little bit more so we can get a little bit farther away from the fire so it doesn't get too hot in here. And so this is what it's like.
So this is what we've got so far for firewood. Probably need more than this. It's gonna be a long, cold night, so we're probably gonna want some more than this. But this is just what we've got so far. I got some pretty decent sized logs. Maybe chop those up a little bit smaller, and hopefully we can get ourselves going, have a nice fire going on.
When we were looking for a good place to set up camp, we had to cross many obstacles. Luckily, we had each other to work together and think about each step we made.
And now that we have a shelter and a lot of firewood, we can begin to search for worms and grubs. These worms and grubs will help us not only with fishing, but if we have no luck with that, we could just eat them for the protein themselves.
Okay, so we found a little swampy area with looks like there could be some, worms or grubs, something to eat or perhaps
some fishing later.
fish with. So we're gonna go do that.
So we're gonna see what we can get. So this is what we've got so far. Got a few grubs and stuff in there. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's just got a few grubs in there. Hopefully we can attach that to a hook. Maybe catch a fish or something. We'll see.
Even though it looked as if we had great luck, we did have to go through some gruesome events. As you see in the next clip, the water was extremely cold and Kevin was enduring a large amount of pain.
Drain my boot for me, bro.
What?
It's got filled with water and
Is it
gold. Please. Please!
How do I drain it?
Just help me!
Please! He is not. So Kevin's going to attempt to
Oh, dude, there's one right there.
catch a crayfish.
Yeah, bitch!
And he's got one already.
That's what it's about right there, sucker. That's dinner right there, boys.
Kevin happened to catch a crayfish in the river, so the next thing we had to do was gather some water in our pot and boil it over the fire. The reason we boil the water and cook the crayfish is because amoebas live in these rivers and drinking it without using the technique of pasteurization would be very risky and we could get sick.
So we caught this crayfish. Take a peek. And we are going to demonstrate how you would cook him if you were in a wilderness situation and you had to eat these things to survive. So we put him in some water that we got from the river. I'm gonna cover him up here. I'm just gonna set this right in the fire and it'll boil and we'll have ourselves some crayfish stew. Okay.
Okay, so we've got our crawfish, and you know when it's done, when it turns red, it almost looks like a little mini lobster. So to eat it, we are going to pluck the legs off. We're going to cut down the middle of the body, and there's going to be meat right on the back here,
Here,
right on the tail.
hold it like in your hand. I'm gonna zoom in on it.
Like right here on the tail. Most of the meat comes from the tail right here.
Hold it still. Give it a good view. Oh yeah. Doesn't that look scrumptious? Okay, so we're gonna show you what we got here. I'm gonna tilt the camera down so we can show them what we got. Oh, we're gonna hold it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we got some the claws and a little bit of meat on there. We're gonna eat that. We got a nice hunk of tail meat. I mean, that looks like you just got that out of the restaurant, right?
That's straight out of Red Lobster.
Red Lobster right there. And then Michael is gonna enjoy some very yummy crawfish brain.
Yep, it's gonna be good.
And maybe he's going to also, he told me he wanted to eat the eyes, so we saved those eyes for him. So he's gonna eat that. And it's gonna be delicious.
Okay, so you wanna give me a little piece of that tail?
Here is your head.
Okay.
And I will eat this tail. I'll split a little bit off.
Okay, split a little bit off for me.
Okay, so there's some for Michael.
Okay.
So here's the tail, and it might not look like the greatest thing in the world, but if you're starving and you're out in the wild, that's dinner right there, boys.
That's pretty good. Tastes just like crab.
That actually did taste that bad.
That was pretty good.
And are you gonna eat that brain?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
just suck it out, probably.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bite right in. I've got a claw right here. I'm just gonna bite right into this thing and see what happens.
It's not the best tasting thing in the world, but it's definitely.
You know what? It's food.
It's food, and you can't. Beggars can't be choosers when you're
Beggars
surviving.
can't choose. You want a claw?
I wouldn't mind a claw.
Just munch down right on that thing.
You know what I'm saying?
and just don't mind the taste. And we
Not
got a little bit of the torso left here. So you want that?
You want some? You want some of that?
Yeah, I'll eat this right
Okay.
here.
I ate the head, so.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much better than that, you know?
Hey, that's surviving in the wild for you right there.
Yes, it is.
And it wasn't mama's cooking, if you know what I mean, but it wasn't half bad either.
No.
And it got some nutrients, got us some good vitamin C. So
We should probably be able to get through the night tonight then.
yeah, I mean, a normal person that might not last them through the night, but it definitely helps.
Okay, and we'll see you in a little while. Okay, so Kevin and I, we got our fire going. We're still out on the river. It's about 7 o'clock at night. We are estimating. We got a little den here. I don't know how well you can see that. We saw it earlier, but we're just gonna be sitting here, staying comfortable, and gonna go to sleep. And hopefully warm, that's correct. Okay, so we just woke up. We're guessing it's around 6 or 7, and last night for me I was pretty warm with the fire and my sleeping bag, but I was not very comfortable. Even though I was on sand, it still was it was kind of tight, and I don't know, I just wasn't very comfortable. What do you think, Kevin?
I wasn't really that cold or anything, but yeah, I was kind of cramped in there. A couple times when my face was exposed, got kind of cold. But all in all, I thought that I was actually pretty surprised with how warm I stayed, even when the fire went out pretty early. We didn't stoke it or anything like that through the night, so it went out pretty quick after we fell asleep. So I was pretty surprised with how warm I stayed, even without the fire.